Welcome to Thank God You're Not My Child. Remember, it's a comedy podcast where I talk about whatever I want to. And today, we're going to talk about listener stories. Now, the first time I did a listener story, I don't think it was quite working that way, okay? So I'm going to do things a little different because I tell stories is what I tell. I don't really like to read them off. I like to read them, feel them, and tell them. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go straight into story of a little boy that held his breath all the time. And you know what I'm talking about. You know those, when kids, this little boy, when he didn't get what he wanted, when he didn't get the food he wanted, he held his breath, you know. And you think, the mom was like, oh my God, he's gonna die. Yeah, didn't get the food he wanted, didn't get the he wanted, couldn't stay up late, couldn't go see a friend. He would just hold his breath. And now let's just say he's only like 2.5 years old. So he's doing a lot of testing. I know this because I've heard stories from when I was little. I was a little girl that held her breath. And this little boy was doing the same thing I was doing. His mom didn't know what to do. So a lot of times he would be throwing a fit or holding his breath because fits, at least they're going to be fine. But when they're holding their breath, first of all, let me tell you, holding your breath is the nose too. You know what I mean? That's holding your breath. But it's still scary when your kid's holding their breath and won't. This boy, he got good. He got so good that he scared the mom. She said she was so scared that something really was going to happen. And after talking to people and friends, other parents, of course, the internet, because, internet, everything's real, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. So she didn't know what to do. So she took the boy to a doctor. I'm lost, doctor. I just don't know what to do. And when you really think that something's wrong with your kid, it can be scary. It's so scary. And this doctor talked to this kid, talked to this mom. And after, she said, maybe 10 minutes, said, listen, Mom, you need to remember you're the parent. He is not going to die from holding his breath. He's not going to die. So therefore, let him. And when he's done, he can do what he's supposed to do or eat the food he was supposed to eat. You know? That was a hard thing to hear. Your child's stubborn. Your child's just fucking stubborn is what the doctor said. That might have been my problem when I was little too. Right, Mommy? So, yeah. So she decided that she's going to do this. She's going to be that parent that just lets the child hold the breath. And so she takes him, and he's young, so she takes him to this, indoor place, because it's wintertime, she said, and he's going to harness up and play. Of course, he's only 2.5, so he's not going to go up to the tip top. And if you've been to those places, you know what I mean, the tip top. He's just going a little. Well, he has his harness on, and the guy is going to hook him up, and he's just like 2 feet up. Okay, he's not that far up. So let's just remember that. And he starts holding the breath, and the guy has not got his little harness hooked up yet. 2 feet, guys. It's only 2 feet. Only 2 feet. He's not going to get hurt, okay? He starts holding his breath. We're not even for sure why he is, because he's getting what he wants. Well, he's just fucking stubborn. So he's holding his breath. And the guy's got the clip and he's fixing to clip it on and he kind of backs off because he's holding his breath. So the guy hasn't clipped on yet, takes a break back and looks at the mom to make sure everything's okay. Because who wants to have a 2.5-year-old, 2-year-old clipped on a harness going around when he's okay? And the mom was like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. So this kid is so mad he's holding his breath. The guy's there in the flash of moment. He's holding his breath. And he did it so good that the little asshole 2.5-year-old passed out. And the guy didn't know what was happening. And the kid went 2 feet to the ground. Yes, I know. Mom was nervous because of all times, she didn't think about it. I mean, she didn't know he wasn't harnessed up. The guy was just really in shock. Okay, we can admit that the guy should have harnessed him up right away. But the kid was not hurt. And the mom, when she realized the kid was not hurt, she let him stay there until his little eyes opened. And she asked him how it felt. And he was embarrassed. He was embarrassed that he was on the ground. He was embarrassed that people were laughing at him. And he was old enough to understand, I was acting like a jerk. This is what happened. I don't like it. And guess what? He hasn't held his breath since. And he's made it to a teenager. Yay, mama. Yeah, that one could have been like a... You know what I mean? That's a whole nother can of worms. That's what I say. So good job, Mom. My mom let me pass out and I was sitting on a table and I fell off the table. She didn't think about it and I busted my head open. I was still okay. Did I hold my breath after that? Well, I don't know. I never asked. So, Mom, when I call you today, the question is, did I ever stop after that table incident? Mom. So, yeah. So now we're going to go out to another one. Oh, let's go to this one. This one's a good one. She didn't want to wear any clothes. This little baby didn't like to have clothes on. Raise your hand if you've had babies that don't like to have clothes on. Yes. My daughter could have worn a dress and just a little pair of panties all day and she'd have been fine. But my son, he was most popular, and comfortable in his whitey-tighties, his boots, and for a good 1.5 years, he had a Batman cape that my mom made him. And that's where he was comfortable. And so when we were at home, I just didn't push for him to put clothes on because that's his safe space. And that is where I think a lot of problem comes from, is if your child wants to run around at home, it's okay. It's okay. They're at home. As long as it's a safe time and a safe place. Okay. So this mom, she didn't let her child do that at home. And that's a whole nother kind of worms. Whole nother episode. We'll talk about her actions a little bit after in the end of the story. He would take, or she would take, her clothes off at any time, like strip the shirt off at the store, take her pants off and shirt off at the library. It was always the weirdest of spots. And, she was like almost 5, so old enough to know better and old enough to know when to do it and when not to do it. But she was just, it was one thing she could control and she just, and Mom was fit to be tied. She just didn't know what to do. And I would have told her that at that age, you need to talk to your child. And if she wants to stay in her room with just her panties on or walk around the house with a t-shirt, make your house rules. Because if she needs that, let her do it in her room. Okay. And that's what the mom learned. And it took one most embarrassing moment for that to be understood. And the strangest person to get her to understand that. So her daughter gets up on a Sunday morning and she goes, would you like to wear this dress or this dress? Because she loved dresses. Because, when you wear a dress, there's, yeah, you know what I mean. She picked one. Everything's going good. Well, they get to church and they're Methodist. And if you know Methodist, they have children's church. And right before they send kids off to, I used to be Methodist for years, they would have kids come up for story time. And I've told stories about my Justin in story time, and they're hilarious. I could probably do a whole episode on stuff he did at story time over the years, because that's my perfect Justin. Remember, perfectly Justin. So yeah, so they're at church and everything's going right. Well, she goes up and they're going to children's church. And the little girl did tell her that she was really hot. But you don't really think they're going to go up there and strip. So she's sitting up there and she gets hot and she's listening to the story. And there's probably not a lot of people that are noticing this little girl because, you know, she said there was like 40 kids up there, so a pretty big church. Well, the little girl got hot. And she decided that she was going to take the dress off. And she just stood up and took the dress off, folded it up, and set it down on the ground. And sat down. The laughter came through the church because, first of all, if you have kids, you pray that they don't embarrass you. And when something like this happens and it's not you, you might giggle a little. A lot of people giggled when my son did stuff. Sometimes I laughed just so I didn't cry. So yeah. So she didn't know what to do. So the girl that was doing the story time, she just finished it like nothing happened. They get up and she gets the little girl and she tells the girl to put her clothes back on. And after church, because you can't do much, they sent her off to church. Mom's mortified. They listened to the sermon. And after church, it was the pastor's wife that came up, hugged her, and told her, "Oh, honey, we've all been on this embarrassing spot." And she was the one that suggested to her to allow her to have her time in her bedroom for just her panties, if she likes a certain t-shirt or stuff. And it was the pastor's wife that said she is comfortable like that in the birthday suit. It's okay to be comfortable in your birthday suit. I'll be 56 this week. And I'm still not completely comfortable in my birthday suit. So I'm not knocking this little girl for being thumbs up. But the pastor's wife is the one that told this mom it's okay for her to be comfortable in her body. And if she needs to have time to where she's comfortable in her body, home is the place. So go pastor's wife. That pastor's wife did not condemn the mom for doing something wrong in parenting. She didn't tell her, put her on a list of bad parenting. She didn't tell her you're doing things wrong. She just went up to say, "Let me help you. I've been here and this can work." And the mom says it works. The girl is like 9 now, I think. I do believe she's yes. And that she has a tank top and a t-shirt she likes to wear at home, and it covers everything. And there are times when she might have to put more clothes on, but she's comfortable at home. And you know what? That is where we are supposed to be comfortable, at our home. So yeah. So your kids, they really need to wear clothes. Cover up parts, cover up butts, cover them up. Respectful clothes. And never, never undress in church. Even I know that now. Now we're going to move on to a play date. Oh, I remember play dates. Now, all of the years of daycare, play dates didn't happen a whole lot because with licensed, any kid that came over, it counted in my numbers. So I really had to plan ahead. And it was even farther than that if I had a friend come over during the day, during daycare hours, and I had the spot to have the friend, because I had to plan ahead, like somebody was on vacation or something, I also had to have all of the papers filled out. And my kids didn't get a lot of play dates. Now, after hours, they did, because I had all of the centers after hours, great play dates, spend a night over, play with anything you want. But during the day, it didn't happen. But this lady, she met a new mom on the Meet the Teacher night. And this mom seemed so lost. And she knew she didn't have any friends. So that she's going to be the bigger person, and she introduces herself and meets the little kid, and her daughter and the little boy gets along quite well. So she thought, why not? Now, first of all, you don't know this person. So I am the type that inviting someone to my house that I don't know probably would not have happened that soon. But to each his own. So yeah, so she invited this new mom over for a play date. She thought they're getting along, this will be great. So the time comes, and her daughter has spent all morning. I think we're going to paint. So they got the paint. Her daughter set up the paints on the table. I would like to do this. I would like to do that. And I know when kids get together, they don't always want to do the same things, and that can be like a problem. I mean, we get it. It can be a problem. She's had play dates before, she said, and she knew that this is what I want to do, and you never know. I mean, kids don't always agree, so that's to each his own, a whole nother can of worms. So the mom knocks on the door. They get there. The mom is so nice. But boy, it was like she said a demon came out of him. Demon. He was jumping on the sofa. He was knocking pictures off the tables. He was throwing books around. He was flipping around the chairs, and she looks at the mom and she says, I don't think this isn't how, that we don't play like this in here. And the mom was dumbfounded. She says, but they're having fun. No, my daughter's not doing that stuff. That's not how we act here. Do you remember? Yeah, that's not how we act here. And do you know that mom was just shocked? And she could not believe that her kid was happy. Why can't he keep doing what he wants? He's happy. And just because your kid is happy at something does not mean they need to keep doing it. Because destroying somebody's things? No. Jumping on someone else's sofa? No. Disrespecting somebody's house? No. And the mom is where the problem started. Because the mom just thinks he's having fun. Well, if he acts like this on a play date at a new place, how the hell is he in class? That poor teacher that has to teach him because the mom's like, oh, he's just having fun. I'm sure she sends him to school just to have fun. I just sometimes cannot imagine what parents are thinking. So this mom is talking to the new friend that she was attempting to have a new friend, and she wasn't making him stop. She said no. And the mom had to say, I need you guys to leave my house, because the mom wouldn't make the boy behave. What the hell? I could not imagine telling another woman that my kid's not acting like this. We don't do this in my house. And another woman ignoring, because my house is my house. And if I welcome you into it, there are certain responsibilities you have. And not letting your kids tear my shit up is number one. So all I can say to this lady is, you dodged a fucking bullet. Yes, you did. You stepped out. You tried. Now, I would like to have a second up. How's the school year been? How's the school year been with that boy? Is he in the same class as your child? Has mom realized maybe she needs to parent a little fucking different? Yes. Bad parenting sometimes is so obvious. You will see. I don't know. A child that thinks he can stab another kid in the heart? Bad parenting. At what point are you going to tell your child no? And for all of the people out there that think telling a child no is bad, you're the fucking problem. You're the problem. Kids need to know how to respect other people's things. And at almost 5, like kindergarten age, there should not be a problem. And he would not have stayed in my house either. And I'm lucky. I might have taken Mom by the bottom pants on her backside and went just like a bouncer at a bar would have been. I think I'm going to come out of retirement. I want to be a bouncer at a bar. Maybe I should be a bouncer at school to throw those Karen moms out. Ooh, a bouncer at a school. Don't you walk in my kid's school being no Karen, because I'll be taking you out. Yes. So I have a birthday this week. I turned 56. And my lovely husband bought me tickets to see Indiana Fever. He just told me this morning, yeah, it's not a bunch of surprises if it comes to a lot of people, because that a lot of people think can be rough. So I'm 100% sure I'm going to be a nosebleed section, probably be watching the game on a big old Jumbotron and have to rewatch it later. And just to let you know, a lot of you might not know, but my husband is hard of hearing. He's technically deaf and he wears hearing aids. So I'm positively sure he's going to be at this game and he's going to watch me be so excited and so happy and cheering on these basketball girls, which both teams have good girls. I was just, it's not bad. You know what I mean? I just love watching. Oh. And last year, the birthday gift he got me the Kodak camera where it prints out. Best gift ever. It's just amazing to have a man that actually thinks about you. I dreamed about that for so long. And if you listen to this podcast, you know it's been a weird situation. And life is good, baby. Life is good. So yeah, it's just 3 little listener stories. It's not like this podcast is a really long podcast anyway, because who wants to listen to me talk for more than 20, 25 minutes at a time? I'm just saying, because I just talk. Okay. So until next time, I think I've told you everything I know and more. Thank God you're not my child.